Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Salem by Night. I am the storyteller. My name is Will. Some of you will recognize me from Dungeons and Dragons or the Baby Lambs podcast, Blood on the Water. But this is our Vampire the Masquerade game. Last we left off, our coterie had decided to spend some time in the basement of the Orpheus Theater, where they discovered a chilling hunt, some weapons, and a duffel bag to carry those weapons in. And then they made their way down the street, where they proceeded to use the newfound shotgun to test out the shell they were given by their elder, and consequently set a car on fire, blew off 3 fingers and a chunk of Brandon's hand in the process. And then they tried to pick a fight with some homeless people, decided better of that, and then made their way north to much of their fortune, the docks where the riverboats are held and where the Last Call bar is in the vicinity. The group separated, with Jane heading towards the bar to try and feed, and Connie and Albert heading towards the small gatehouse that leads into the dry docks. And this is where we pick up our game now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Salem again. So we have Jane walking off in the direction of the Last Call bar. Albert and Connie, you guys are walking towards the little guard kind of cubicle and the hand-drawn kind of wooden gate that really is just there for vehicles. You can hear what sounds like Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer coming from a radio, and the elderly gentleman that is guarding the marina is sitting on a stool, his back against the rear window, head down, in what feels like an attempt to try and doze off on company time. What would the two of you like to do?
It probably should be me. The man with me doesn't have a hand.
Means his left hand.
What's his left hand? That's true.
You don't shake hands with your left hand.
I forgot how I talk.
You have an accent?
I was about to say something. I know. I just forgot how it goes. I was about to do a French accent.
No. You're a little more English than French.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. You were grilling this weekend. Can't be held responsible.
I was. The grill master does no accents. He only knows meat.
He only knows
and
meat.
Also substitute meat for your vegan friend.
Yeah, incognito.
Do you want to go and knock on the door, on the wall? And I can't. I mean, I can knock. I can't. How do you approach this? Should we just walk right by? He's not awake. You think there's a manifest?
I think we should investigate the area first a little, as much as we can, to make sure there aren't any other people around, and try to sneak in as much as we can. I don't think we should draw any attention to ourselves.
Do you want to steal his walkie-talkie? If he has one. Because then we'll know if someone sees us.
That's very smart.
Thank you.
Let's
I'm
do
a
that.
professor.
Sure. Let's try to steal his walkie-talkie.
I mean, not sure. I mean, I am a professor. They call me Professor Albert Force. I mean, they did when I was alive.
Yeah.
But
You want to go get
that's neither here nor there.
Is it me or you who's getting who's getting this
Oh,
walkie-talkie?
definitely. I have one hand. Definitely.
Okay, so
here.
it's definitely me.
I'll-
Definitely.
I'm gonna go stand over there.
Sounds good. All right, I'll be back.
Okay.
Right.
So let's have Connie make a dexterity and stealth roll, or a stealth and dexterity roll rather, to see if she can even get close enough without arousing this man's.
Let me find stealth.
Yeah, let me
Oh,
make
here
sure-
it is.
That's not.
And
That's Connie.
dexterity.
Hmm.
No modifiers, right?
No modifiers.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no.
So at this point, it would behoove me to remind you that you can use a willpower point to re-roll up to 3 dice, not that don't include any hunger dice. So you have that option. It would cause a point of superficial damage to your willpower.
I'd be willing to try that. So what do I have to do? I have to click on willpower?
Yeah. So there's a WP re-roll.
Yes.
You click that dice button, and it should ask you how many dice you want to re-roll, because you can re-roll
Uh-huh.
up to 3.
Uh-huh.
You have more than enough because it says you have 4 regular dice, so you can re-roll up to 3 dice. And then
Okay.
I'll just mark your.
Oh, bingo. Sorry, I know we're live.
That's fine. People can look it up. So no successes.
7 rolls? I got nothing?
Nothing.
There's something broken. There's something broke.
Something.
Hacks.
Yeah, for real.
Straight up hacks.
So you try to approach as quietly as possible, kind of like ducking and raising your head to try and find where a walkie-talkie might exist in this little booth. And as you come up to the door, there is a small dog, like a Shih Tzu, that was curled up and just starts barking wildly as you approach, and kind of like startles him. And he looks at you, and then he looks past you at Albert, and he looks back to you. He's like, "Do you need something, young lady?"
I was here a couple of days ago, and I think I left a shoe at the dock.
A shoe.
Yeah. A shoe. A baby shoe. A baby shoe. It's not my shoe. You know how babies are. They kick their feet. And a baby shoe fell, and you know, what are shoes without a set of 2, right? I don't know.
You couldn't have come by during working hours for the lost and found?
I tried, but you know, I got too busy, and I just happened to be in the area and thought, well, maybe I'll get lucky and see it in a bush or something, and that's why I came.
Can I hear this?
Yeah.
Honey, the baby is missing their shoe. We have to return home from dinner to bring the baby their shoe.
See, thank you, darling. So there you go.
He's like, "Oh, all right. Well," you see him get up off of the thing, and he gives the dog a little treat to shut him up. And he pulls out this huge kind of flashlight, and he turns it on. He kind of comes out of the booth, and he's like, "All right, well, let's get to looking. Well, which riverboat were you on?" And you see him kind of like duck under the arm of the gate, and he starts kind of flashing the flashlight around.
Oh, I forgot the name of the boat I was on.
A gentleman was the boat driver. I remember that.
Well,
Yes.
all the captains are men. That
And
doesn't.
they're all. This one was a real gentleman, though. Like a real upstanding gentleman.
I mean, all our captains are taught to exude a certain level of propriety and
And good on them.
You know, I think it would probably, darling, maybe it would be
Yeah.
if you we it could be easier if we just look at the boats. Do we have time to look at all of them? Because I don't remember which one we were
What time is
on,
it
and the
now?
baby
yeah. You see,
is footless, shoeless.
he crawls. He kind of ducks back under the arm and he closes the door. And as he does, he says, "Now you behave, Aloysius." And he kind of like you hear the dog yip, and he closes the door on it. And then he ducks back under the arm and he's like, "All right, well, we'll start with this close one over here." And as he's walking, you can hear the sound of a small motor kind of dying off in the background. Both of you,
Like being turned off?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm. If both of you could give me an awareness and composure roll, I'll tell you more. And while you're doing that, Jane, as you come up to the door that leads to the last call, you see that it opens almost at the same time that you reach to open it, and there is this demurely beautiful woman who kind of is stepping out of the bar. You see that she has this dark brown, almost auburn hair, these kind of olive grayish kind of eyes, and there's a distinct scent of blood in the air. And as she sees you, she's just like, "Oh, excusez-moi," and she kind of lets you pass by her, and she kind of shimmies out into the night, and you see her start to walk back south. Inside the bar, though, through the door, you can see what looks to be about 10 or so, almost a dozen people kind of sitting about. There's a couple playing pool. There's one guy throwing darts. There's 3 gentlemen at the bar. There's a couple of ladies at a table. And behind the bar, you see this kind of ruggedly handsome woman. Blonde, very kind of, imagine Ingrid Nielsen from Red Sonja. Like that, but with long hair. Like she could be beautiful. She just is more of like a down to earth, blue collar woman. So she doesn't have makeup on or anything. So, but you can see that she can be beautiful. And working next to her is this lanky, tall string bean of this black guy with glasses who looks like he doesn't belong anywhere near a bar. Like he is as nerdy gets. If he could be wearing a Star Wars shirt, he would be. But you see the woman kind of nod at you as you enter, and she walks around the taller gentleman behind the bar, and then crosses over and sits down at the table with the ladies. How would you like to hunt?
Well, first things first, I'm gonna head to the bar
Yep.
and order something to drink.
Okay.
I'm assuming only the gentleman now is behind the bar.
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll order a whiskey double neat.
Okay. You see him kind of look at you for a moment and is like, "Oh, that, yeah. Okay, That's a hefty drink, and you hear coming from the table from the blonde woman is like, less commentary, more working, Mick. And he kind of nods at her. And he goes about, pouring out the 2 shots, and just he's about to put ice into it, and then he like, no, neat means no ice, neat means no ice, and he kind of slides it over to you. One of the guys at the bar looks over as he slides a drink at you. Is like, you drinking to forget, or you drinking to make new memories?
I'm drinking to drink. Cheers.
It's like,
And
I'll just offering some help, Some of us are trying to forget, and you see him kind of shake his drink.
so I offered to buy him another drink. Like, would you like another? You seem kind of low.
And he's like, I will never turn down a drink from a lady. And you see him just down what he had left, and he slides the cup over to Mick. And Mick comes over, and he's just like, you were having, and he just looks at me. He's like, I'll have what she's having. And he's like, oh, okay, that's a big drink. And again, you hear the blonde woman, what did I just say to you? What did I just say to you? And you see him quietly pour the 2 shots and slide the drink over. The guy grabs the drink and shifts his stool closer to yours, and he kind of holds out his glass to clink with yours.
I definitely clink back.
Okay.
Cheers.
He takes a heavy sip.
Okay. So what were you drinking before?
He's like, I had a Tom Collins, but I think this calls for more celebratory flavor. I'm not one to drink lesser than my peers, and he kind of winks.
Okay. Well, I guess it's a challenge then. And then I will finish my drink.
Okay. Let's have you make a stamina and resolve roll
Okay.
to keep that sweet nectar down. The 2 of you, while you're doing that, you see.
I'm sorry, it was
yeah,
stamina
and composure. Or resolve, sorry, resolve.
Oh, resolve.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Connie and Albert, the 2 of you hear what sounds like a small engine cutting out, the sound of water kind of lapping, and then a heavy kind of quiet splash with a heavy torrent behind it, almost like if someone was paddling away. And simultaneously you can hear the sound of footsteps over by the far riverboat. The guard is still walking towards the closest riverboat, kind of
I think
waving his flashlight in like a small, like 30-degree arc.
is it shit. It's not possible to make out the numbers on or like a name on the last one, is it?
From this distance?
Yeah.
Give me an awareness and composure roll. Okay. 2 successes is not bad. You can see that every so often there'll be a car that kind of shoots by. Even though it is really late, there are still people kind of driving around. And on one such swing, there's a car that kind of turns up the street and just flashes its light across the names of the 2 that you're not going to. And that is the Quiet Queen is in the center. And the far one is the Gambler's Grave.
You said the sound of the splashing is coming from that last one?
Yep. Yeah. You can also see that the dry dock itself isn't just for the river boats. Like, there are other smaller boats and some leisure boats of like medium size. There's nothing large here except the river boats. The river boats are the largest thing docked here.
Wait a minute, honey. Isn't it called the gambler's slave or something like that?
Yeah, gamblers. Green gamblers.
Yes, something like that. Something like that.
Uh-huh. Sounds about right.
The
Sir.
old man kind of waves his flashlight over at the last one, and he's like, "You talking about the Gambler's Grave?"
Yes. Oh, thank heavens. Yes, that's the one. That's the one.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you were on it a couple days ago, because it's been dry docked for a better part of 2 weeks.
Yes. Well, yes, we were.
Sir, do you have a baby yourself?
He's like, I have grandbabies. That's a thing we have.
Then, sir, then you know more than us that lose track of time when you have a baby.
It could have been 2 weeks
Ah.
ago. It could have been 6 months ago.
All I know is she's saying shoo, 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 and she won't wear any other shoe except those shoes. And now we can't find the shoes. But I remember distinctly her kicking her tiny little baby feet on the gambler's grave when we were visiting.
Yes.
Oh.
So
Alright.
distinctly.
All right.
remember.
Well, that saves us a bit of time. Then I appreciate you remembering.
Thank you.
And he starts making his way over to the Gambler's Grave. And at this point, you can now hear that the engine has started up again, and it's starting to slowly make its way away from the marina.
I thought you said it was dry docked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the riverboat is dry docked, but the boat in the water that's making noise is not.
Oh, I misunderstood the whole situation.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you think it was this boat, honey, still?
You mean? Do you mean? Do I think it's the boat?
You know why we think it's this boat? Because when we were docking, we saw the name of this boat when we were coming in. We must have seen the boat and was like, what an interesting name. And that's what got stuck here. And maybe it was the other
Okay.
one. The it's a royal name.
Make
Well,
a
Can I get a map of what's happening right now? Just like a mental map of where everything is,
sure. So
just so I can understand what's happening.
So the marina exists almost like a really oblong rectangle. There's a guard.
Okay.
There's a guard tower with the arm at what would be the southeast corner, and then there's a chain link fence. There's 2 chain link fences actually, and then there's a couple
Okay.
of boats that have been dry docked for maintenance or for staying off of the water. There's a couple of boats that are actually in the water in some of the smaller docks, the smaller keys, sorry. And then there's 2 river boats at the northwestern part that take up the majority of the space here in the marina. 2 of them have been pulled
That's where
up.
we are.
Yeah, 2 of them have been pulled up out of the water. There's a middle boat, which is the Queen's Gambit, or the Queen's. That's a show on Netflix. It has nothing to do with this. The Quiet Queen is in the middle. The farthest one is called the Gambler's Grave, and you are heading towards the only one that is still in the water, which is Old Lady Luck. But if you 2 could give me awareness and composure checks, actually no, awareness and wits check, actually, please.
Okay.
I'll
Gonna get
go.
shot.
I'll go back to Jane. Jane, you take the drink down, and it is not anything that you want to have in your stomach, but you manage to keep it down. The familiar taste of bourbon no longer has the burn that it once did, and it doesn't carry the same judgmental disadvantage that comes from drinking it. He downs it after he sees you do it, and he puts on that face of like, this is straight fire going down the throat, like molten lava. But you see him just kind of breathe out and puff up his chest like the 80s man he is, and he's just like, I'm ready for the next one whenever you are, darling.
So I signal to the bartender and say, another round, please.
Okay. At this point, Mick kind of pulls the bottle from its resting place, fills the two shots worth, and then kind of leaves the bottle at arm's reach behind the bar for him. And he's just like, I think I'm gonna leave this here for now. It looks like this might not be a one and done situation. And you see him kind of like lean back against the bar itself, like the back of the bar, and it looks like he's made himself look out towards the pool game and the dart shooter, but he's really like keenly involved in what's going on here. Like he is fucking looking for all the chisme. And he is like just glancing down every so often, just looking and kind of keeping his ear open. But again, the guy holds out his glass to clink.
Clink back.
Yeah. All
Cheers.
right. Cheers, madam. And you see him take a sip. The daintiest of sips, in fact. And he's like, so, what's your name? What's the name of the person we're forgetting? What's the story?
Okay, so I will lie fervently. My name's Alice, and actually my boyfriend of many years just broke up with me.
Oh. Some men don't know how to handle a strong woman. You gotta break them in like a bronco, you know?
Yeah, I know. Worst part is he couldn't even keep up with me drinking, and I take another sip.
No. And that's real unfortunate. And he takes a sip again. A little braver this time, emboldened by the fact that there is no other man that he has to contend with. Um, and he's like, what spurred this on? Why suddenly leave such a beautiful woman? And he kind of takes another sip.
Um, I, I think he got, distracted by his career and no longer paid attention to me.
Hmm. That's a shame. That's a real shame. I don't think I could do anything but pay attention to you. And you see him take another sip.
I will, I will fiddle around with my shirt and then say, "Oh, well, that's very sweet."
You fucking snake. Make make a performance and we'll say charisma roll.
Okay.
Because he's getting drunk. Remember that you can add your presence to
Wait,
any.
performance?
Yeah.
How do I do that? I don't see it.
Yeah, it's in the middle section of your skills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I feel like this is more of a performance than it is an actual straight lie.
Yeah.
So, let's see what you got. Oh, 4 with a possible critical. Hot damn, poor guy.
Got him.
Yeah, not a critical, almost. So he's kind of like, he starts to stare down where you're playing with your shirt. You notice that Mick has also now let his eyes kind of trail to the same area. The guy behind him at the bar has also kind of like started to lean, like he's pushing his weight on the bar itself to kind of be able to see past him at you. There's a lot of work going on, and after a moment you can feel somebody sit on the other side of you on the stool next to you, and you just hear that blonde woman's voice. I don't suppose I could talk to you for a second, Miss Alice. And as she says that, we'll shift over to Albert and Connie.
Wait, no. Hold on. I want to see where this goes.
Yeah. Yeah. So you two are, you made your rolls, and you got what looks to be 2 successes for Connie, and we'll go up 5 successes for Albert. Good gracious, ass bodacious.
It is your boy,
Yeah.
Albert Frost.
Yeah. Connie kind of sees something out of the corner of her eye, but it's you don't know if it's just your eyes playing tricks on you or just the wind having picked up at the right angle and just cast shadows in a different direction that kind of caught your eye. For Albert, it is completely different. Albert sees this silhouette of what looks to be this humanoid shape kind of looking in your direction, kind of peeking out from behind the main area, behind one of the support pillars on the far riverboat, and then slink away towards the actual kind of general area of the boat itself.
Which riverboat?
The Gambler's Grave. So you see that the old man has started to turn back towards Old Lady Luck since you told him that it was at the gambler's grave you were looking for.
Can I pull? Can I like get Connie a little closer to my ear? What? No. Can I get a little closer to Connie's ear, and so I can whisper something to her?
Yeah, I mean, do you see him get closer to you? Do you push him away or?
No, I need no. No. Any direction.
Go to the go over to the gambler's grave. I'm gonna follow the man. I think there's someone hiding behind it. We need them for answers.
Sure. Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good luck.
I'm gonna tell him you're using the restroom.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Go team.
Go team.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that and keep walking.
Okay. So you start heading off in the direction of the gambler's grave, and the old man turns around and he's like, "Yo, where are you going off to? I thought your shoe was over here."
Can he is are we, hold on. Hold on. Are we making can I make eye contact with this man?
Yeah, I mean he's looking to you for answers.
I'm going to compel him
Oh,
to return to your booth.
what level is compel?
Can I do mesmerize instead?
I mean, you can
Just
do-
because it's level 2.
You wish to go back to your booth.
You're using dominate is what you're doing, right?
Yeah, I'm fucking using dominate. I think I'm gonna use I'm gonna do mesmerize instead.
Okay. Okay. So mesmerize costs you 1 rouse check.
Ah, fuck.
Uh,
Okay.
so and then
So I'm gonna click that now.
Yeah. Then you gotta roll.
Oh, that's a 10.
Okay, good. So your hunger doesn't go up. That's good for you.
8. That's great. Do you know how bloody I am?
Yeah.
I'm missing a whole left hand.
I mean, part of it.
Ah.
Part of it. My big thing is the fact that you have just let your wedding ring disappear into the night.
It was on your left hand.
Yeah. Yeah. On the fingers that got blown to Kingdom Come. But if you could make a manipulation plus dominate roll for me, we can go against his intelligence and resolve, which isn't high. So you have that going for you.
How are you just gonna drop that?
Yeah.
Man-
Yeah.
Manipulation and what?
Manipulation and dominate. So you're gonna have to go down to your discipline to use a discipline.
Oh, I got 2 10s.
Ooh, yeah, and finally, you got a crit on your hunger dice.
What does that mean?
That's a sloppy critical.
Oh, does it mean I get my wedding ring back?
It does no, it doesn't mean you magically get
'Cause
your
I'm-
wedding ring back.
I'm dead ass about to cry.
Good. The search for the wedding ring is going to be so delicious.
God, I can't wait for Albert to realize it.
Yep. Once he starts to regenerate that ring finger with no ring on it.
Ah, let's keep going.
Yeah.
I'm too depressed.
Mm-hmm. But you see as you kind of lock eyes with him and you summon the magical kind of abilities that your blood has carried now that you've become this supernatural creature, you 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 kind of urge him to go back to his booth, and he starts to talk about the rules and how there's a certain way that things have to be done, and the beast inside of you, in just pertinent kind of impatience, just you feel your hands shoot out from your body and twist his head in the direction of the booth, completely 180 degrees away from the direction he was looking, and you just hear that satisfactory snap of the neck breaking.
Hold on. What?
And
Hey, Will?
and you just hear this voice. They can't fight you if they can't speak. Drink up. And you can just feel that hunger and that thirst start to bubble up inside of you.
Is that what happens when you crit on a hunger dice?
That is what happens when you get a sloppy critical. The beast wins, not you.
You just kill a guy.
No, you don't have to kill a guy, but you do.
I mean, I'm gonna drink. He's dead. What's he gonna do with the blood? I need it to get my hand back.
Okay. Since he's already dead, you have no issue with draining him. But I will need you to make a humanity roll.
Knew it. Felt it. Felt it.
So
with all my humanity.
well, I mean,
my humanity.
That's what the
Right?
humanity is. Yeah. There's a button to roll.
So I'm rolling 8 dice.
Yeah.
Just it popped up with 5, not 8.
That's fine.
I will change that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It takes a toll on you to see his head kind of twisted around the wrong way, around kind of like Death Becomes Her. But you do feast, and once that blood starts hitting your gullet, it is delicious and it is so fulfilling, and that voice starts to just recede back into its doghouse. Jane, the blonde woman sitting next to you, kind of just leans in close, and she's like, look, I have no problems with people hunting in my bar, just the rules are no killing. Just be aware of that.
Whoa. Whew. Okay.
And then she gets up and she's like, enjoy the drink, Ernie. And be kind to new customers, okay? That's how we get them to come back. And she winks at you, and she goes back to the table with the other ladies.
Okay.
But you see that if you follow her to her seat, she has not taken her eyes off of you. Like even as she continues conversating with the ladies, like she's still looking in your direction.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. What am I prioritizing here? Should I feed or I feel like she would know something, no?
You can make a awareness and composure roll,
Okay.
and that'll give you some insight if you roll high enough. All right, 3 successes. You see that as you kind of keep making eye contact with her because she's still looking your direction. You remember seeing her at the Elysium earlier tonight. She was one of the vampires in attendance. So it kind of gives you a little bit of an ease as to why she might have said what she said. But it does also now unnerve you that she is still like deadlocked looking at you.
Cool. Okay, in terms of feeding, what are my options here?
I mean, this Ernie character is about 2 sheets to the wind, so he's not exactly gone yet. He's not shmamined, but he is in a nice place. He's vibing. He's got a smile on his face now that he didn't have when you walked in.
Well, like I'm saying, like, alright, you know what? Whatever. Alright, cool. Okay, we have to get him to drink more.
You imagine that maybe 2 or 3 more drinks will put him right where he needs to be.
Well, we are having doubles, so technically 1 more.
Yeah.
Yes?
Give or take, it might be 2. He is a bigger guy.
Alright.
Robust, I think is the word. Rubenesque.
Is there still someone at the pool table?
Yeah, there's 2 people playing.
There's 2 people playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy that was throwing darts has come over to the bar and is ordering a drink. Everybody else is still more or less in the same place they've been.
Okay. How about I say, how about some darts and loser drinks?
I mean, I'm not
Twice.
I'm not good at darts, but I'm feeling competitive. I can give it a shot. And you see him kind of stand up and stretch and start to twist his shoulders back and forth in a macho display. And then he slams his hand on the table. He's like, Mick, give me some of them loner darts. And he downs his drink.
Nice. I'm terrible at darts. I'm the worst. You stand no chance of winning.
You see him kind of shake his glass at the lanky bartender, and he looks at you to see if you're paying still.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And he pours him the double shot, and you see that at this point he's a little more heavy-handed with the shots. Like he lets them kind of dribble over as he pours them into the glass. And he puts the bottle back and slides the glass back over to him. And he grabs the glass and he grabs the darts. And you see that as he's walking over to where the taped line is on the rug, that he does have a moment where he stumbles almost, like, but he catches himself. You see him kind of like he veered too far left and then caught himself and kind of corrected without a big spill. But he goes over and he puts his drink on the table next to the lane where you're shooting darts, and he's like, he just holds out the darts on his hands towards you. He's like, "Ladies first. Let it never be said I'm not a gentleman."
So yeah, I'll grab the darts but not without commentating on how well he can hold his liquor in comparison to my ex-boyfriend.
Oof. This is coming from a place of a used tactic. I can feel it. Make a subterfuge and manipulation roll. And remember that you can add your presence rating as a modifier to the roll.
Oh, okay. How do I do that?
Let's take a look at your presence. Yeah. So you have a presence level of 1. So when you go to roll your subterfuge and your manipulation, it'll ask you for a modifier.
Mm-hmm.
So just go ahead and put 1 in.
Okay.
And then that'll represent your... Oof. Even with the bonus. So, like I was saying to Connie and Albert, you can, since you didn't roll any real successes, you can use a willpower point to reroll up to 3 regular dice, which is what you have there.
Okay.
In case you want a better chance at success.
Yeah. That's a willpower reroll.
Yeah, you hit the willpower reroll button.
And then just submit.
Yep, and then submit because you're gonna use a 3. So 2 is plus the 1 that you had before is 3. You see that he has this air of kind of superiority that comes over him, and you see him kind of grin, like he just won this $10 scratch off ticket. And he goes ahead and takes another long swig of his drink, and you see him just kind of step to the side and just be like, and just stand there. And he's like, "You let me know if you need any help with your form. I've thrown a few darts before in my life, but you have the 3 darts in your hand, and let's have you go ahead and roll an athletics and dexterity to throw them at the board."
Okay.
And while you're doing that, we'll go back to Connie and Albert. Connie, you see him crack the neck of this old man in front of you, and then immediately go down and just start feeding.
That's not chill.
Okay, so I'm how far away am I at this point?
You've gotten maybe about 20 feet away.
All right, I'm gonna turn over. I'm gonna go back toward him, and I'm gonna be like, "Is this why you wanted me to go to the other boat? Because you wanted him to yourself?"
No, actually, this is not exact. This is actually not hard. This is actually not at all what I planned. I was trying to do a thing, you know. I can do a thing where I make people just do whatever I say, and I was doing it, and then like the words were coming out of my mouth, and then
So you
my
made
hands
him
were on
break
the
his
back.
own neck with your hands, and then started to feed on him while I walked by myself to this riverboat. We're supposed to be on this together.
You were to just allow me to finish.
There's
my
nothing to
statement.
finish. You know what? Why don't you finish? Leave me
No,
something.
I'm done.
You know
I'm done
what?
actually.
Oh, are you
If we
done?
want any, I am.
No, you
I
know what?
actually,
I
I
don't need
no
your
longer want
scraps.
this.
Can we go now?
Did you take care? Did you catch the man who was leaving the boat?
No, I was too shocked by this revelation.
Oh, well, I am also shocked by this. This is a problem that I need to make sure doesn't happen again.
Okay.
I very much did not want to orphan Aloysius. In my opinion, we have now adopted a dog because I will not let
We?
that dog. We've
We?
adopted a dog.
We
The
have
three of us,
adopted
we've
a dog.
adopted a dog.
I am enough of. No, we have not adopted
Yo-
anything.
What were you going to say? What were you going to say?
That I already have dog-like instincts because of
All right,
my
and now we
clan.
have a dog. That's right. 'cause now
Well,
we
you
have a
know
dog.
what? For
It's
that
fine.
reason, I'm not gonna let's leave the dog in the booth and let's go find what we need to find, and then we can discuss renaming
You've
Aloysius.
been married. You've been married to someone for so long. That's a problem. I was going to make a funny joke about you and we were set to- now it appears I'm missing a finger.
Yeah. Well, you're missing a hand.
I mean, do you,
Mostly.
as we're walking to whatever the fuck, but do you know like what's on that finger?
Nails, skin, hair.
And my wedding ring.
Oh no!
You're not as hurt by this as I am.
The
And
concern.
I understand.
I just
It is
feel like
fine.
you're becoming a problem. I barely know you. Now I have to. What? Now there's this ring that
You're
now,
you're
and now you
becoming a
killed some
problem.
man behind my back. I don't see why I should feel bad
Was it?
for you.
It was an accident. I do feel remorse.
Okay.
This conversation is hurting my feelings. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You know what? We did not adopt a dog. I've adopted a dog.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right. Well, you're feeding.
Aloysius. I will.
Okay.
Whatever dogs eat.
All right. And if it becomes a yappy little thing that disturbs any other potential opportunities for our little group here, I will be the first to twist Aloysius's neck in a 180 like you did to that guy.
Too
Understand?
soon. Very much too soon. Wow. So rude. He's still right there. We are maybe 10 feet away from him. My.
Yeah. So
They just don't teach culture in America.
Oh, okay.
So you
Why don't
guys
you give him your lira?
you guys
Make him feel better.
yeah. You guys make your way over to the gambler's grave, and you get up the gangplank onto the ship itself. Are you being stealthy or are you clomping around?
Ow.
I'm gonna be stealthy
Okay.
because
I'm gonna
we've
pop
already
on
made
shadow
enough of a
cloak.
disturbance here.
Okay. So, you can make a dexterity and stealth roll for me, Connie. Albert, you said you're popping up Shadow Cloak. Is that a obfuscator?
Shadow cloak. It's Oblivion. Vampire gains a 2 dice bonus to stealth rolls, as well as on intimidation versus mortals.
Okay. So that's your level 1 power.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it have a arouse check? I don't have the book open currently.
Doesn't say it.
Okay.
I believe it from when I was reading it.
Okay. So you see as you start to kind of like duck down, Connie, and pick and choose where you step, you see Albert kind of hold his hands out in a kind of wanting position, and some of the shadows around him start to kind of grow closer to him, and they start to kind of actually crawl up onto his body to kind of give him a bit of camouflage, and it makes him a little bit harder to see, even though he's like right next to you.
Have I ever seen anything like this before?
Nope. This is the first time he's used this as one of his disciplines in front of you. So go ahead and make your stealth roll with the +2 modifier
It's stealth and what?
and dexterity. So Connie, you got 1 success. Do you want to keep that, or do you want to try to make a willpower reroll? You still got willpower points to hit yourself with.
Is it too late for me to use my own power?
To affect this roll, yeah, but you could use it later if you think you're
Okay.
seen.
I'll just be ultra aware. It's fine. I'm not gonna use another willpower.
Okay. So sure enough, you see that the unnervingness of seeing these shadows come to life almost and cling to Albert. They unsettle you for a moment, and you don't really pay attention to where you're stepping, and you kind of knock over some cans. It's a little bit of noise, but nothing major. He just manages to kind of use the shadows and just blends it in, and you start to really lose where he is at times. There's moments where you know where he is, and then there's moments where he kind of like he steps out to shift to a different position. You're like, I never even saw you move over there. But you guys check the entire kind of top deck of the ship, and you find nobody.
All right. Well, Albert, wherever you are, I think we need to keep going.
I'm just gonna move down to the bottom
Oh,
deck.
there you are.
I'm not even saying. I'm not. That's just.
Well, that's
Will.
you. I got excited. I wanted to be scared.
I'm just moving down. His feelings are hurt, and he's taking it out on avoidance.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So you have a stairway on either side of the ship that goes up to the observation deck, but you also have 2 stairways that lead down into the kind of bowels of the ship, the cargo and the engines and whatnot.
I'm gonna go down.
Okay. So Connie doesn't hear any response from her query to her associate.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of like left at one of these stairwells and go up or down.
Then I'll go to the. I'm not on the observation deck now. I'm on
No.
like the.
The main deck.
Okay. All right. So I'll go up to the observation deck.
Okay. So going back to Jane, we see that you threw the darts. You have 5 successes, so you basically close out. You can either choose to close out one number of your choice, or you can have 3 doubles on 3 different numbers of your choice. But if you don't know how darts work, American rules are you shoot from 15 to 20, and you gotta hit them 3 times to close them out, and then you gotta do the bullseye 3 times. If you close out a number before your opponent, every time they land on that number until they close it gives you those points.
I see.
So
I'll do the other thing. The 3.
3 different ones, 3 spread out.
Yeah.
Okay. So you hit 15, 18, and 20. Either in the inner ring or the outer ring, and he walks over, kind of nodding as he does, and he's like, you said you never played this before, right? And you see him kind of pull the darts and start walking back over to you.
Beginner's luck.
Yeah. I better not be getting hustled over here. And you see that he lands 2 of them, and the other one goes a little wide. Doesn't land on anything worthwhile. He takes a drink, and then he goes over. He grabs the darts and hands them to you. And he's like, "I'm not gonna make a beautiful lady walk and grab her own darts. That's just uncouth."
Why, thank you. You're such a gentleman.
Go ahead and make another dexterity and athletics roll to throw them darts.
Oh, wait.
Let's see what you do when you do that thing you do. Hot damn. 3 more successes. So you have your choice. You can start to rack them up, getting doubles again on different ones, or you can try to close out one of the ones that you've done in any combination you want right now.
Doubles.
Doubles? You got it. So the guy looks at the board. He looks back at you, shakes his head, and he's like, Are you fucking with me? And he goes, grabs his darts. He comes back. He looks at where you, like he's trying to figure out how you're scoring these points. Like he's looking at where you were standing. He's looking at like your, like he's mimicking the technique that you did to throw these darts. Like he is confused, utterly confused, and you just see him. He gives up and he drinks down his drink, and then he just throws the 3 darts wild like a fucking madman, trying to catch some of his pride back from the situation, but he only manages to score 2 again, and you see as he walks over to the dartboard, like every step is just an angry stomp. Like he is not used to being on the receiving end of a losing hand. But he comes back. He doesn't even hand you the darts anymore. Like he puts them on the table next to you, and he grabs his glass. He's like, "I'm gonna get another drink." And you see him go over to the bar.
Oh my god. Oh boy. Okay, can I, like, I should have done this before, but can I, like, do something to, like, fake be bad at this? Can I do that, please?
Yeah. Sure. Now that you're in a winning position, you can choose to throw the game.
Please.
Go ahead and make a dexterity and athletics check to be bad this time at the game.
I should have done that before, but, yeah.
We didn't know you were fucking Tom Cruise
I didn't
in
know
Color
I
of Money.
This fucking good. That's fine. What was it? Dexterity and athletics, right?
Yeah. Fucking
Oh my god.
2 with a
Of course, now it's gonna be bad.
with a possible critical. No, it's a possible critical.
Okay.
It's not though. That's fine. So yeah, so this time you do kind of throw them wildly on purpose. And as he's coming back, he sees you shooting, and he sees the misses that happen, and he comes back, and you see that he has a little shot of something and a beer, and he kind of sips the shot, takes the beer, and he walks over and grabs the darts, and he's just like, "Man, if I had seen you get any more doubles, I might have started crying on my own way home and closed out my tab. At least now I have a fighting chance.
Honestly, I can't believe I got so lucky. That's crazy.
So you see him kind of go back into his relaxed posture, and he kind of throws the darts, and he catches up. You see him close out one of the numbers, and he gets a double on one that he'd been missing. And he goes over, he grabs the darts, and this time he does hand them to you. And he's like, "All right, I'm catching up. Are you gonna try to be bad again, or are you gonna go for broke?"
I'm gonna be bad again.
Okay. Same thing, dexterity and athletics.
Okay.
You are super bad.
Yeah.
Almost critically bad. You see that you just shoot out at all these other numbers that have no point value whatsoever for you. And when he walks over to grab the darts this time, there's a little spring in his step, and you see that he's got a little bit of a smile, and he grabs them and he's like, it was a little touch and go there. It was a little scary that I'd have to like relinquish my crown of being the best in the bar, but it looks like I might just get to hold on to that for a little bit longer. And he gives you a wink as he finishes his shot and takes a bit of his beer down, and he takes aim for his next 3 shots. Connie, on the observation deck of the riverboat, you see what looks to be a small casino inside the main hull. There's tables for cards. There's the roulette wheel. There's a couple of places to kind of just lounge, and you can smell, even though it's been dry docked for a couple of weeks, you can still smell like the cigar smoke and the cigarette smoke that's kind of permeated the walls. But up here, there's no living thing. There is a ladder going up to where the main kind of crew is, where they captain the boat from and things like that. It's like a little half upstairs area.
If there's nothing interesting down here.
No, just the decks of cards that they use for the games, the dice for the craps table.
I want to take a deck of cards. Can
Okay.
I find a deck of cards and steal it?
Yeah. They're special. They're designed for this riverboat, so they say the gambler's grave on them.
Okay.
And it has the riverboat kind of sinking on the back of the card in stylized, so it looks kind of like a gravestone.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a fun little keepsake.
Yeah.
Keepsake. Okay. Sure. So I'll take a deck,
Yep.
and I'm gonna start making my way over toward that ladder.
Okay. You get up into the main kind of piloting room, and you can just see, maps of the river, maps of Oregon itself, and just courses. There's a couple of historical maps that are behind glass casings that are kind of protected. The casings themselves are like really thick glass that has a little bit of a dark sheen to it, like a sepia sheen to them, to kind of protect from the sunlight and things like that. But otherwise, the room is rather clean. There's a captain's log that kind of sits off to the side that has annotations of all its trips, who was the captain, anything, any notes and whatnot. And you can see that there's, if you peruse through it, there's a bit of a conversation between two different captains. Just like asking how they are, how their lives are, how their marriage is going. And you find out that one of the captains has been dealing with some mental issues because he caught his wife cheating on him.
Oh, poor guy. Mm. All right. Well, sad for them. Nothing for me here. You know what? Is there a pen or anything around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's easy drawers you can find pencils and pens there.
I'm gonna just start doodling little like broken hearts, sad faces, and teardrops.
Okay. This is who Connie is.
This just in. Steamboat captain. Hung himself. No one knows why.
No one knows why.
Oh, my wife hates me.
Yeah. We're not making light of mental illness. Just
We're not.
we are fully aware that Connie is a cunt.
Yes.
But Albert, as you descend into the bowels of the ship, you can see the dormant kind of engine room to one side of the riverboat itself. The heavy smoke, the heavy kind of smell of coal and wood from the steam engine, and you can see some rooms that have been labeled storage or equipment and things like that, and one of the doors is ajar.
Is it now?
Yeah. There, you have enough successes to make it to the door unobserved, and you can see what looks to be a woman standing in front of a corkboard kind of blackboard, and you see that there are pictures that she has with like thread, kind of like a conspiracy board. Two pictures have a large X marked across them. And you see that she's kind of like finishing up tying some new thread to make some connections. And as she does, she leans over to what looks to be a small kind of backpack, really small. You didn't even didn't notice it on her person before, but you notice that she puts up two new pictures on the board. One of them is of the sheriff, and the other one is of the whip that was talking to Connie, that introduced her as his childer, which is Joshua. And as she kind of like steps away and looks around the room, and she kind of like is trying to figure out how to pin these two to the rest of the pictures, you can see that one of the pictures that she does connect to the two new pictures is of somebody that you remember from Elysium. You can't remember their name. No, you would remember their name because you're British. It's Antoine Davies' picture has a thread to the two of them. But you notice that she has sharp features, very sharp angles to her face. She has this very light, almost more orange than red auburn hair. And she, sorry, no, that's a picture that's a third picture that she puts up, is of a woman with sharp features with auburn hair.
Okay.
trying to find her description. Okay, she has long blonde hair that's tied back in a ponytail, very close to her body. Light eyes, soft features. She looks like she's athletic. She has very skin tight, kind of weatherproof clothing. And she puts up those 3 pictures, like I said. And you notice that she doesn't have a thread that leads to the female that she put up. But she does.
The female with the sharp face and red features.
Yeah, with the sharp features and the red hair. But she does put how far, like she writes in chalk, how far next to the female's picture. And you see her kind of looking back at her notes. She's tapping the pictures. She's tapping the sheriff's picture mostly. And there's a moment where she writes down the name of a place that you've never heard of before, called the Lucky Dime Diner. And she puts that
next to the sheriff.
Next to the sheriff. And after a moment, she finishes reading her notes, and then she closes everything up, takes out a pair of keys from her pocket, and she slides everything into her backpack, throws it over her side, and starts making her way back to the door.
Where I'm standing.
Where you're standing.
And I'm just a shadow boy.
I mean, you're hoping that you're just a shadow boy.
Alright, well, regardless, I'm gonna take out my revolver.
Okay.
Because I have a gun.
You do. You do have a gun.
This is gonna get fucked so fast.
Yep. So, Jane, you see that he closes out another couple of numbers, and there's a little bit of a joy restored to his persona, and he comes back to give you the darts for your turn. You basically have played this dart game for a good 20 minutes now, and you're nearing the end of the game. You could finish it with 2 bullseyes if you wanted to. He still has like about 4 shots to make, but he keeps taunting you that you know nobody can make 2 bullseyes unless they're like professionals.
Okay. How about I say if I can win this, you have to take 2 shots.
He's like,
on me.
all right. I mean, yeah, it's the odds are astronomical that you could hit bullseye twice. So I'll take 4 shots if you make it. He's like, I don't give a fuck. So are you gonna go for broke?
Let's do this.
All right, athletics and dexterity.
What are the chances it doesn't work out as well as it has?
I mean, 3 with a possible crit. So you hit bullseye once, and then your second shot goes astray, and then you see him kind of like start to do a little dance as he gets really excited not to have to drink 4 shots, and then your third dart just almost Robin Hood's the first dart and just hits next to it, and you see him just kind of drop his beer. The beer bottle kind of hits and bounces. It doesn't crack. And you see a bit of beer starts to spill out. He quickly like rushes down and grabs it, and he yells out, "Mick, I need a towel." And you see a towel kind of come flying across the entire bar at him. And he starts to pat it down, and you just see him just under his breath, he's like, "God damn it. Fucking, I got hustled." And he just shakes his head at you. He's like, "Fucking, I don't know how you did it, but I learned my lesson." And he grabs the darts and makes his way back to the bar. And he's like, "All right, Mick, I'm going to need 4 shots of just cheap tequila, because fuck, I lost bad." And Mick kind of smiles, and he's like, "Well, you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's the way of the game." But he pulls out 4 shot glasses that he kind of puts in a little square formation, and he just spins the tequila around, filling all 4 shots. And then he just slides them out and fans them out into a line. And the guy just looks at you, he's like, "This has been an expensive lesson to learn. Fuck." And he takes the first shot, and he makes that face of distaste, and then he just takes the next 2 shots back to back, regrets it immediately, and just kind of, as he puts his hand on the last shot, he's like, I'm gonna need to leave my car here, Mick. I'm in bad shape. I don't think I can drive home. Can you call me a cab?" And Mick's like, yeah, Ernie, you got it. And he takes that last shot, and then he just flips it upside down and puts it on the bar and just slides it over to him. And you see him kind of holding onto the bar, just like you do when you just need something that isn't moving in the room. And he kind of is just lazily moving his head back and forth in this very slightest of cones of just like this little angle. But he is thoroughly wasted at this point.
Okay. Okay. Okay, can I ask? Okay, I'm gonna ask the bartender to hold out on the cab and approach him and just ask if he'd like to go out for a cigarette break with me.
Okay. He's like, yeah, I think some air will do me good. Yeah, hold off, Mick. I'll be back after I escort this lady outside. And you see that as he reaches into his breast pocket to pull out a pack of cigarettes, you see that he pulls them out and they just fall onto the floor. And there's like a lighter that goes flying one way, and a couple cigarettes that kind of pop out and just roll away. And he just looks down at it. He's just like, "Fuck. That's Could you get that? I don't think I can. I'm for safety reasons. Could you get that for me?"
Oh, no problem, no worries. It happens. This has been a lot of fun. Picks up the cigarettes, lighter,
Yep.
etc.
Yeah. No. This is necessary. You know, this is good. This is good. We're both we're both drinking to forget people, so it's good. It's good. This is progress. And as you go outside, you see him struggling to light his cigarette until he finally like backs up against the wall and just kind of presses his shoulders against it to kind of keep him in place. But
Okay.
you are now outside with Drunky McGee.
So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a cigarette, but then light it with his so I get like really close.
Okay.
And okay, this is the moment of truth.
Yeah.
What are my out? I like. Do I have to kill him? What can I do here?
You don't have to kill him. Killing only is the only way to reduce your hunger to 0. But you could feed and try to pull yourself away before you kill someone.
Okay. And what will that do in terms of hunger?
Feeding off of a human will slake 1 level of hunger. So if you're at a hunger 2 and you feed off of a
Okay.
human without killing them, you can go down to hunger 1.
Okay. But that'll require a
Just a willpower roll.
like if I can, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So, sure enough, you see him kind of step around into the alley, and just start to finish his cigarette. His eyes are glassed over, but he did have a smile when you leaned in close to him.
Okay.
How do you want to go in for the hunt?
I'm curious. Can I use any of my powers to this
Sure.
to facilitate this procedure?
Sure. I mean, you have dominate, presence, and fortitude. So you could use either one. The presence one is passive. It just lets you add your level to any persuasion, performance, or charisma.
Okay.
The dominate one is a little more powerful because you can either cloud his memory of the event, or you could force him to kind of open up his himself to be fed on with mesmerize with the level 2.
Okay. I want to try dominate then.
Okay. Level 2 power?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's going to require a rouse check before anything. So you're going to go down to the bottom of your character sheet. Okay, good. So you managed to activate it without increasing your hunger. And now we're going to roll your manipulation and discipline versus his intelligence and resolve. I got that for you.
Okay.
All right, 2 successes. He's hindered by his drink, so I'm going to subtract some of his successes. And sure enough, you see as you kind of invoke your blood and you feel this supernatural power stretch out over you and into your words, what do you say to him?
Thanks for a wonderful night.
Yep. So he takes that as an invitation to lean in and go to kiss you. Uh, so you can easily just kind of bypass his face and go for the traditional neck bite if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the second that blood starts to fill your mouth and you swallow it down, you can taste all the liquor he's had today. And you can taste that sadness that has permeated his soul. And it runs deep. But it is so delicious to you, this intoxication of not just fulfilling your thirst, but also living in the alcoholism of somebody else is such a divine taste for you. Let's have you make a willpower roll to see if you can pull yourself away before you kill him. Because deep down inside, all you hear is, yes, more, yes, more. Give us all of it. And even with that egging on and that desire unquenched, like a dog who doesn't know when enough is enough, you rip your head away before you do anything crazy, and you bring yourself back to kind of lick the wound close and clean up some of the mess you've made. And you see him kind of just wobble for a bit, hit the wall with his back, and then just kind of slide down until he hits, and he just kind of like just sits there in a daze, head down, just kind of whispering about something. You can, if you want, you can sit there and try to listen to him, or you can move on. But you can bring your hunger down to 1.
Yay!
Should be really helpful moving forward. So, Connie, you draw dicks and broken hearts and sad faces on this guy's journal, on the captain's log. This professional log of riverboat captains.
Yes. Yes, I do.
How long do you want to spend there? Because you so far spent the climb up, the looking around, and the doodling. You've spent about 20 minutes up there.
That's it. I want to go.
Okay.
There's nothing else to do up here. Unless there's a hat I could put on. I might pretend that I'm steering the ship for a second.
All right. There is a captain's hat. There is a captain's hat there.
All right, so I put it on, and I just start going, "Oh, shiver me timbers! Oh, let's make a lot of money! Let's go very slowly down the river!"
We are starting to figure out who Connie is then.
But then but after a few, like, let's say like 8 minutes of that,
Okay.
I get bored. I put the hat back where it was, but like kind of like askew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the hair askew, nothing too crazy, and start heading down the ladder.
Okay. So you come back into the gambling hall. Nothing's changed. There's no difference here. And as you make your way back over to the outside stairways, you hear the sound of a door closing beneath you. And then Albert, are you moving to let her leave, or are you going to block her path?
I'm gonna stand. Because I'm gonna stand still, because my goal is to get her locked into this fucking room.
Okay.
So I got the Glock out. I got my eyes on her. I'm
She
ready.
she opens the door wide to step out, so she doesn't really bump into you. And as she kind of steps out of the room, she closes the door again. And you see that as she goes to lock the door, there's a moment where she kind of looks in your direction, and you hear the keys drop. And as she steps back, you
I
see.
shoot a kneecap.
Okay.
She's not leaving. She has info. That's it. No, it's not happening.
Okay. Okay. Make a dexterity. Or actually, no. Make a wits and firearms roll.
Cool. I'm gonna use a willpower.
Well, that's after. Remember, it's a reroll.
You know, it happened. Oh well, that's
And you would only be able to use it against to reroll one of your dice.
So like.
I don't know if it's worth it.
I got one success.
Okay. So you see that she immediately jumps away from you, and as she does, you see her pull her own gun from
Fuck yeah.
a holster that you didn't even know was there. But Connie hears the gunshot from downstairs, just loudly reverberating up from the stairwell. And you see her point the gun at you, and she yells out, FBI, drop the weapon or I drop you.
Oh.
And this is where we will pick up the next episode.
Wait. Oh shit! I didn't.
Ooh.
Did I? Wait. Did I hit?
No, you did not hit.
Oh, I missed. Oh, I should have done the
You
reroll.
missed.
Oh, missed.
So, yeah. Yep.
Oh.
So, we will pick up here with Connie trying to cause as much mayhem as possible in the smallest ways possible, with Albert about to take a .45 caliber slug from a government agent, and Jane being the only one who has escaped any real danger this evening and has managed to successfully feed without killing anyone. So, I hope all of you have a pleasant evening. Remember that we are here every Monday doing Salem by Night, and we are here every Friday, starting last Friday, with Star Wars Out in the Dark, a new campaign set 70 years before the Battle of Yavin, and we are meeting the cast currently. So, take care of each other, be safe, wear your mask, and we will see you in the next time. Good night, guys.